Hello everyone, very good evening. Welcome to ACE with Ease IAS. Today this session is about anthropology strategy for your 2024 mains. Okay, basically with respect to anthropology, anthropology is a very scoring subject and it is believed that it's a short syllabus and these all things are the notions that generally students have. But in anthropology as well, many a times people struggle to improve their scores and they don't know where exactly to work to improve their scores. So first let us look at the concerns with respect to anthropology. First is coverage of syllabus. Second, conceptual clarity. Third, am I audible? Right. So second is the conceptual clarity of the subject, and the third thing is practice. Fourth is presentation. So these are the things that you need to address. We'll try to see how you can cover each of these things and ensure that you are having a solid preparation for your mains. First, coming to coverage of syllabus. Right? First, what you have to do, you have to divide your syllabus into 5 modules. Socio-cultural, then physical, third, Indian society, fourth is the tribal. Okay, and here each should be done in 2 weeks of span. Okay, so this should take 2 weeks of span. This should take 2 weeks. I'm sorry. Tribal anthropology should take 2 weeks. Along with this, okay, so first 2 weeks you can keep theories, and 6, 7, 8 you can do first, and you can do 2, 3, 4, 5 in the second week. Okay, so in the physical, first you can do 9.1 to 9.6, then 9.7, 9.8, 10, 11 and 12. So in 2 weeks, so week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Indian society, what you can do is you can do second unit, third unit in 1 week, fourth and fifth in the other week, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think these all can be done in 1 week. Okay. So how many weeks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 into 7, 49 days. That means it's a plan of 50 days. So where did archaeology go? 1.4, 1.5, 1.6. Now what you have to do is that you have to divide archaeology into, or archaeological anthropology into 4 weeks. Okay, so first you will solve Paleolithic period, okay, then the Mesolithic. So these are the 2 things you'll read in a week, and then you'll read Neolithic. Okay, so Neolithic period, and then Chalcolithic, Bronze Age in this week. Okay, so in this manner you will try to finish these topics each week, okay, so you will divide archaeology into 4 to 5 parts, and in each week you will cover one part of archaeology, so that you make your notes ready first. When you are doing less amount of archaeology portion, okay, what you will do is that you will try to analyze it. So you have to read it analytically, how Indian Paleolithic is different from European Paleolithic. At the same time, how the tools of Indian Paleolithic are different from there. And you should also see what are the kinds of fossils that have been found during that different periods of time. During the Paleolithic period, what are the different fossils found? You should know man in India, okay, how man, what are the evidences of man are present in India, okay, so what all we know so far. So these things you should analyze. That analytical way of reading is very important. So either you can divide it into 4 weeks, and the best way would be so lower Paleolithic, and you can do one fossil, okay, 1.6. Okay, you can do, sorry, this is Paleolithic, lower, upper, middle, and then Mesolithic and the respective fossils of 1.6. And then you can do here Neolithic and rest of the things. Okay, so in this fashion, you will be covering 1.6 Neolithic. And here, okay, so here you can add 1.5 primates chapter and finish it off, okay, while doing with this 9.1 to 12. Okay, so in this manner you can finish your archaeology, and at the same time you can also finish your socio-cultural and physical part in the first 4 weeks. Now here in these 3 weeks, okay, in the week number 5, what you have to do is that study 4 Indian anthropologists. That means each day you have to study one Indian anthropologist and get to know about their contributions in detail, okay, so that you can apply them. So Unit 4, daily one anthropologist, and in that manner every week you cover 4 anthropologists. So almost you will be covering 12 anthropologists who are very important. Anyhow, you will be reading about everyone in that week, but at the same time you will cover Indian anthropologists in detail. Okay, so in this way, in 49 days, I'm sorry, in the 49 days, what you will be doing is, you will be covering your entire syllabus. But, so now coverage of syllabus, this problem is sorted. But along with that, what happens is, when you approach the exam, things get difficult. In order to have multiple revisions, you have to ensure you are making your short notes on the same week itself. Okay, so the same week itself, whatever the syllabus you are reading, you have to make the short notes. How to make short notes? Suppose I will take an example. You take an example of cultural relativism or any other topic. So what would be? You write the intro. So what will you write in the intro? Who has defined it? Franz Boas. What is the name of the book? Race, Language and Culture. So other than these two, rest of the things you can write. What are the positives? What are the negatives? Okay. What are the issues with respect to cultural relativism? How it is in conflict with human rights? And then you will say, cultural relativism is not discouraging human rights, rather it is encouraging human rights, and you will write various case studies which you have studied, and then at the end you will write the conclusion, especially that is the Clifford Geertz conclusion, which you can mention and you can conclude. So in this entire content that you have learned, hardly 3 to 4 keywords or the names of the thinkers which you feel you would be forgetting, those things you can note down in a piece of paper, and you can ensure that very little space of your paper is going for it. Okay, cultural relativism, this is the topic. So now culture versus civilization. Okay, what are the points I have to cover? Just ensure that you are writing 4 to 5 keywords for what all the things that, for every sentence maximum a single keyword should be used, and with that you have to get your short notes ready. So these notes will help you revise multiple times. Why people won't be able to write all the things they read? The reason is that they are not revising it multiple times. In order to revise multiple times, the same week you have to ensure that your short notes is ready. Now this is coverage of syllabus and revising multiple times. This part is done. Coming to conceptual clarity. Why the conceptual clarity is very important? I see many of the times students taking direct previous year questions and trying to mug them up. They are thinking that they will be able to reproduce, and because of which they can get good scores. But this used to work some 4 to 5 years back. Now the things have changed. Okay, so the same thing you cannot do here on, for the reason that the marks, if you see in the last year, many of the students who were following those trends have drastically seen decrease in their marks. And who has seen increase is that the people who have good understanding of the subject and they are presenting anthropological perspectives in their answers, and who is interlinking different topics. How can you interlink? How do you link your anthropological thought to your physical anthropology, and physical anthropology or Indian anthropology examples in the socio-cultural part? You will be able to do it only when you are very clear with your basics. The sound conceptual clarity will help you interlink. So this conceptual clarity is very important. Now, many of the people might have done good foundation from different teachers, and they might have been clear with these things. Okay, so that is the first step. But if anybody is not sure about their conceptual clarity, please reach out on this number. If you are in a situation that you are confused or your conceptual clarity is not there, so in that case, only for the sake of conceptual clarity, what you can do is that you can jot down the areas where you are facing difficulty. Okay, so suppose in physical anthropology, if you take primates, okay, primate behavior, or with respect to classification of primates. So what are the areas you are facing the difficulty? What you can do, just jot down those concepts where you are facing the issue, and you can just reach out, and I'll give my more than 100% to ensure that all the doubts of all the people are resolved. But at the same time, there is limitation to me also. So I'm just not promising that I'll solve everyone's doubt, but I'll do my best to those people who are facing difficulty with respect to conceptual clarity. Right? So this is very important. And next, okay, first you have understood. Now, this understanding is with every student. Okay, so this understanding is with every student. How are you going to make your mark so that you are awarded more marks compared to your counterpart? Okay, so your competitors are writing the same thing that you are writing. Why will you be given more marks compared to others? So here comes that uniqueness that you have to present with respect to the answers. Okay, the uniqueness to the answers. How does it come? How do you make it unique? So you can make your answers unique by giving references. Okay, so you refer to different sources. So the sources has to be different, and the sources has to be holistic. Okay, it should make sense with respect to that topic that you are writing. Randomly dropping any content, okay, any anthropologist or any example or any case study, what will happen? It will be counterproductive to you in the exam hall. So I'll give you an example. There was one of my student who was already in service, and what happened? His score was 140 in paper 1. Now he has to improve his score further. What he has done in the next year, he randomly dropped so many examples into each answer, so many thinkers into each answer. What the score next year is 86. This drastic drop is because the people who are evaluating are the anthropological professors. They want you to understand the subject and present the subject in the manner it has to be, rather than dropping or dumping all the information that you need. You should understand the demand of the question. You should address the demand of the question from the anthropological perspective. So this uniqueness, okay, that too relevant to the syllabus, can be done from various research papers of JSTOR and ResearchGate. So you can refer to these research papers and Man in India journal. So you can search on these research papers and you can get this information. So there are various other research papers being published by many universities, especially like universities of Lucknow and universities of Vidyasagar University of Calcutta. So there are universities who keep on publishing the research papers very frequently. And if you want more information, there is other website as well, Shodh Ganga. This is one of the area where you can get the research papers. So from there you can find the relevant research papers. Don't dump randomly. After finding the relevant research papers, what you can do is that you can ensure that you are making those present those examples in the paper so that your answer looks different, okay, and unique, so that the content is not same. So though you are trying to address the same demand of the question, but it can be done using different examples, studies and perspectives, right? And one more thing, the good score is because of multiple dimensions in the answer. First, conceptual clarity. Second, uniqueness. And third is multiple dimensions. So don't address a question only from one dimension. Suppose the rules of marriage. If I have to give you one example, rules of marriage, if you take, what generally people do, they tend to write only the different types of rules. Rather, they don't write what are the reasons, why did we have the rules of marriage. Because the question is open-ended, you can present multiple dimensions rather than presenting only one dimension. Rather than writing what are the different rules of marriage and who has given it, those examples, that's okay that you present different names and thinkers with respect to different rules. But what are the reasons, why do we have rules of marriage? If you present that point, that makes the answer multidimensional. Okay, so in this way, like you take any topic of the syllabus, ensure that you are giving multiple dimensions. Okay, in physical anthropology also, generally we tend to present only the biological dimension. We tend to ignore the sociological dimension. I multiple times have mentioned, okay, so the example which you can easily understand, blood groups. Blood groups are generally seen only from the perspective of the biological angle. But if you see from the cultural angle, that just like we see horoscopes to get married in Japan, what they'll do, they'll see the blood group to get married. So this kind of dimensions, if you can bring in, this will help you to present uniquely. At the same time, the multiple dimensions will get appreciated in the answer because the people who are evaluating are the professors and they are habituated to the research papers, the thesis, the new things that are being published. Okay, so they encourage the innovation, but the innovation should be apt as well. Okay, so this is with respect to content part. And next, coming to practice. Why you should practice? See, generally many people take test series. And what happens? We take the test series and we prolong writing tests, and while the exam is approaching, at the end we'll try to write 2-3 tests as much as we can. But the problem here comes, the reason for people skipping the tests on a regular basis is that a person cannot go and dump the information, all the information, and recollect all the information in a short span of time. Because you read so much in the complete week and you have to present it in short span. So in order to overcome this, what's more important is the practice on regular basis. See, some people have quick writing speed. Okay, so they can write very quickly, and because of which their writing practice can be less. But many of the people do not match the speed of the UPSC demand. Okay, so that's why they have to have this handwriting practice. So you have to take the question, you have to think on regular basis. Okay, you should think on regular basis, write on regular basis. Okay, so you should think on regular basis and write on regular basis. So that's why you should do the daily answer writing. So which questions I should write? So ultimately the answer is previous year questions. So whatever the topic you read, from those topics you pick the previous year question, try to write. So after writing, ensure that you have some mentor, okay, or teacher, whomever you are, whomever is approachable, you go to them. Ensure that you are getting your mistakes known on the same day and getting it corrected. Okay, so if it's not possible on daily basis, do it on weekly basis. At least try to get it evaluated very quickly. Then after knowing your mistakes, try to ensure that in the test that you are writing at the weekend, that you are not repeating these mistakes. Okay, so in this way you can ensure the quality, okay, at the same time quantity, because of the practice that you are developing. So when you practice, what happens in the first week, you'll write 7 answers. In the second week, it will be 8, 9. So when you're writing sectional tests, and slowly you switch from sectional to full length. Okay, so in that fashion, what you can do is that you can complete your practice on daily basis. There you will cover multiple previous year questions and test series, so which will help you in revising multiple times. Okay, once you read it and you are making a note of it, you are making short note, you have read some topic, you have made 1-page notes. Now when you write answer, what will happen? You will revisit again. So this is the second time you are revisiting. Okay, so on the daily basis when you are writing, you are revisiting second time, and third time you will revisit when you are writing sectional test, and you will revisit fourth time when you are writing full length test. So if you write 2 full length tests, you will revisit 5 times, and between GS mains and GS optional, GS mains and optional, you have 5 days. There you will revisit 2-3 times. So almost 6 to 8 revisions you can complete if you are doing your syllabus in this fashion. Okay, so practice is one thing, but again practice is different from presentation. Okay, first you will understand things. Okay, first you will understand, you will develop a conceptual clarity, then you will practice, and then you will perform. That gives presentation. Okay, so when you practice, then only you will be able to perform by better presentation. Okay, so if you have forgotten to draw a diagram, it's okay. If you are drawing a diagram in physical anthropology, that's not good, or it is having certain mistakes, or if you have forgotten to draw the diagram in the answer altogether, so you'll know that in this answer I have forgotten so and so thinker to be presented, so and so perspective to be presented. So these things you learn in practice, and in presentation you'll ensure. Okay, so when you're writing FLTs, you have to ensure that these things that you have been missing in your practice are written there, and at the same time in the presentation there will be interlinking of multiple topics. Okay, so when you're writing sectional tests, you might be recalling only one single topic. Okay, so you have read only that topic, so you'll be writing about only that topic. But when you're writing FLTs, there you'll be presenting. That means your final answers are going to look like that. Okay, so in that case, it should be holistic, it should be multidimensional, it should carry uniqueness in the answer, it should be written in time. It is possible only when you do all these things parallelly. Okay, so this is how you can cover your syllabus. And 555 quick anthropology enrichment course, what we are going to do is that here first conceptual clarity by 24/7 availability during your mains time period. You can ping, and within 24 hours your query will be resolved. Okay, with respect to conceptual clarity. Second, with respect to uniqueness of the content, we will be having 20 hours of classes where all the enrichment that is necessary will be discussed, and this enrichment content, okay, so generally people will be thinking that you might have learned previously that some people might have taken 2023 enrichment last year, and if you think that that is enough for you, then you can carry on. But some people who think that you want more advanced, because a lot of things has happened in this span and new things, I have also updated my content. So with that 20 hours, what we will do, we will try to cover entire syllabus. Okay, first day as said, like okay, we have divided the syllabus into each week, so we'll have almost 2 classes each week. Within 10 weeks we'll finish that 20 hours. Okay, so we'll try to finish as quickly as possible. Mostly in 6 to 7 weeks I'll try to complete all these 20 hours of lectures, so that you still have 40-45 days to revise all the content. Okay, so uniqueness is addressed by providing this enough value enrichment. And next you have daily answer writing. So in this daily answer writing, what you will be doing is that daily you will be writing the 4 to 5 questions which have been posted. So you will write these answers daily, and within 2 to 3 days, or according to your comfort, or 7 days, what you will do, you will have a session so that we discuss this question, what are the gaps that are present with respect to this question. So these will be suggested, and through which you can cover your gaps in this daily answer writing. And in the weekly test, so we have 8 sectional tests and 4 full length tests. Okay, so this is 1 revision and these are 2 revisions. So when you write daily, other revision will be done and you will read once, almost 5 times. So minimum 5 times is done. Okay, so in the test what you will do is that all the gaps that has been seen here, and sometimes in the test what we will do is that we will try to put some unexpected questions so that you are habituated to the shocks. At the same time, any question that you must learn here itself, suppose there is one different question that might be asked. Last time Arjun Appadurai question has come, which has already been done in the enrichment anyhow, but for some people it is different. Okay, so it's a question that is unexpected and suddenly they have to deal it. So in that case, okay, in that case you will get habituated. Every week you will get a new question. You will try to tackle the question with your existing knowledge. At the same time you learn that also. So you learn almost 20-25 questions which might be out of the syllabus but relevant to anthropological syllabus that is given to us. Okay, so that also you will be trying to learn. So in this manner, enough amount of revisions, practice, coverage of syllabus is done so that you are exam ready. So if somebody can do it by themselves, it's well and good, and if somebody needs help, can reach us. But at the same time, the 555 Quick has very limited admissions. Maximum of 50 people will be taken into consideration because it's a result oriented program, and I don't want to burden myself by involving too many number of people because the quality gets reduced. So whoever the first 50 people comes to us, already almost 20-25 people have already enrolled. So I think only 25 vacancies we have. So if you are looking for the help, then you can enroll and you can reach out on this number. Okay, so you can discuss, because even if you are not enrolling, but at any point of time, 22001. So even if you are not enrolling or not being part of the program, but still you can reach out to us if you have any specific problem related to anthropology, and we are more than happy to help you in this journey. Okay, so in this manner, that especially 555 Quick students, what we are going to do is that we are going to divide the syllabus into 7 weeks. Okay, so here so I am not able to find the page. What we are going to do is that we are going to divide the syllabus into 7 weeks. First 4 weeks we are going to cover paper 1. Okay, so in these 4 weeks, socio-cultural 2 weeks and physical 2 weeks, and in these 4 weeks we will be covering archaeology by breaking it into 4 parts and fossils into 4 parts. So every week you will cover some part of archaeology, some part of fossils, and you don't worry about archaeology and fossils, that I'll be taking care of in the lectures that we are going to take for 18 to 20 hours. So and paper 2 we are going to cover for 3 weeks. Okay, tribal it is 1 week and Indian part 2 weeks, but at the same time the contributions of Indian anthropologists, every week you are going to do 4 plus 4 plus 4, and we are going to cover almost 12 Indian anthropologists in detail, which will help you cover your major part of paper 2 again. Okay, so in this way we are going to cover the syllabus once, and then we have 2 full length tests. That means paper 1 you will be writing 2 tests, paper 2 you will be writing 2 tests. Okay, so first full length will be individual. Okay, for one full length test for paper 1, other full length test for paper 2, and other full length will be like on the exam pattern, that on the same day you will be having paper 1 and paper 2. So here you are covering 2 revisions, here 1 revision, and you are doing daily answer writing practice. You are ensuring your conceptual clarity, at the same time enrichment in the answers. I don't think more than this anyone will be able to do. So with this you will be able to cover major parts of your syllabus. Okay, 99% of your syllabus will be covered, practice will be done, short notes will be there, multiple revisions will be done. So I think this would be more than sufficient for you to get good score in anthropology. So if you have any doubts in specific, you can reach out, but I already told you we are going to have very limited seats, and if anybody is looking for the help on urgent basis, please do enroll, because after that I would also be helpless, because there are human limitations as well with respect to amount of load one can take. Okay, so do you have any doubts? You can ask. You can ask your doubts now. So no doubts. Yeah, you can call on the number, or we'll post the link here so that you can enroll. Just give a second. Yeah, both 2024 and 2025 people can enroll for this program, because even almost all the things will be equally valid for 25, and you will also be able to cover your syllabus in a much quicker fashion. And the mentorship will be provided till 2025 as well. If somebody is giving in 2025 and if they are enrolling now, it's not like that, like the mentorship will be ending by the end of this program. So whatever the time you are in the process, we'll try to support you. So if you have any further doubts with respect to any specific branch of anthropology, you can ask. Okay, please put out your doubts, or else we'll wind up the class. how should our final notes look like? And 7.3 of paper 2. Preetraj, like you can message me personally, that I'll send you the notes of that part so that your query will be resolved. And how should our final notes look like? See, like I already have told you, with respect to any topic, you take any topic. Suppose this is your notes for unit 2, you are making your notes for unit 2. You have very important topics: cultural relativism, ethnocentrism, culture versus civilization. So these are the 3 topics. So here you note down like what should be the structure of the answer. Within this structure, what are the important keywords, and like that for every topic you do it. So like this you can cover 2.1, 2.2. For suppose you are doing for economic organization. Within the economic organization of unit 3, they'll ask different types of exchanges that can happen. They can ask impact of globalization on Indian economy or tribes, economy of the tribes. Okay, so this question has already been asked, so now they might not ask, but they might ask you the different question. They can ask you collaring, so they can ask you the different types of economic organizations that are present, or the evolution of economic organization. So like that for each topic you have to make short keywords and what you should write in the intro, body and conclusion. In this way you can cover your notes and important things that you have to remember. So this is what your notes is. You should not write entire thing in your short notes. Okay, your notes should be anyhow be there, but in your short notes all you need to have is the keywords that you have to recall at the end. Okay, which you are forgetting. Suppose you have, how can you make your short notes? When you write your daily answer, so there you'll practice a question. In that you'll know so and so part you are forgetting. So you are having a problem with respect to introduction or a conclusion or a body. Within the body, there might be some parts which you might be having some confusion. So now ensure that you write it in your short notes so that you revise it multiple times and you don't commit the same mistake when you are writing it next time. Okay, I think this query would be addressed, Manoj, by this. Okay, see you everyone in the course. So we'll end the session. I think nobody has further doubts. Thank you everyone.